Thank you, Gerard. Newly released video taken on board the USS Omaha shows an unidentified flying object hovering over the Pacific Ocean and then disappearing below the water's surface. The video recorded inside the Omaha's command center in July 2019. It was pitch black outside, so what you're seeing is thermal imagery of the mystery object. Once it was under the water, it vanished from the Omaha's radar and sonar. No wreckage was ever found. Joining me now is someone who's been tracking reports and videos like these for years, George Knapp of MysteryWire.com. George, thanks for being here. Do we have you?
Good evening. This is a pretty weird little case. The video was released today, but we got a glimpse of it. Do you hear me?
I hear you. There's a slight delay.
We had a glimpse of it about a month ago when a still image of this same craft was released, and today we saw this video released by a filmmaker, colleague of ours named Jeremy Corbell. As you said, it was shot, recorded in July 2019, where 5 U.S. Navy warships about 100 miles off the coast of San Diego, out there in the Pacific beyond the Channel Islands, were essentially surrounded by unknown craft. At one point, the USS Omaha, which is the ship that recorded the video that we're seeing, was surrounded by about 14 of these things. They would flit in and out, playing a cat and mouse game with the sensors on this ship, which are high tech, the best that we have in the U.S. Navy. And at one point, this one particular object, this 6-foot in diameter sphere, floated alongside the Omaha for about an hour, just followed along where the ship went, and they got all these images, recorded the images until at 11 o'clock at night, July 15th, this thing dipped into the water, and that sent the crew into sort of a routine. They announced something to the effect of splash, splash, which marked the spot where the thing went in. They conducted a search looking for wreckage. There was none there. It disappeared from sonar and radar, and this thing was just gone.
So at the time, did the sailors see the object on the radar?
Well, it was inky black outside. It was pitch black way out on the ocean. They could not pick it up on radar. What they picked it up on was that thermal imaging, a system called Sapphire, and they're watching it. The video was shot in the control center of the command center of the Omaha. A couple of people are recording it on other devices, watching the thermal image on the screen, and that's what they got. I mean, as I said, for days, it sort of played games with 5 of the ships out there appearing on radar and sonar. Sometimes you could see these things visually, but not on sensor systems. Sometimes on sensor, but not visually. It was really weird. They don't know what it is. The UAP task force, which was created by Congress a year ago, has incorporated these images, the video that we've just showed you, as well as some other images released last month, as part of a briefing process that it has used to educate members of Congress, the Joint Chiefs, other military and intelligence officials about the UFO mystery. So the images themselves are in a classified report, but the images are not classified so that they can be shared with a lot of people.
So we don't know what the U.S. Navy has concluded about the incident and what this might have been.
Well, we do know that they've concluded they're unknown. They are officially unknown. They considered all the options. Now, we're just seeing a piece of video, and we can make our guesses about what it could or could not be. But they have the sensor data. They have the testimony of the sailors and the command structure. They have a lot more information than the public has. And as far as we know, as of today, it is still listed as unknown, unidentified. They don't know what it is.
Well, you're one of the foremost experts in this area. You've spent a lot of time interviewing people, investigating similar incidents. What do you think we're seeing in this video?
Well, it appears to be a highly intelligently controlled, high-tech system. We don't know what the propulsion is. There's no rotors. You've seen the images. There's no wings. There's no blades. That thermal imaging system would detect if there was any kind of exhaust. None of that. It's flying by means that we don't know. As one intelligence official had told me, if this is Russian or Chinese, that they have made this kind of a technological breakthrough without us knowing about it, it represents an incredible failure on the part of our intelligence establishment. But they don't really think that's what it is. They don't think it's Russian. They don't think it's Chinese. That leaves some fairly exotic possibilities, but nobody's saying anything beyond it's unknown.
Does it look similar to other UFOs that you've seen, other images and videos?
Yeah, those sphere craft have been seen all over the world for many years, many decades. The other ships that were involved in this same period, in the same 3 or 4 days in July 2019, had different shaped objects. You might recall seeing a very weird pyramid-shaped glowing green thing that was over the USS Russell, a video that we released last month. On the east coast of the U.S., off the coast of Virginia, CBS is reporting today that the pilots that were flying out of there, the F-18 pilots that fly out of this huge naval air base, we're seeing them basically every day, multiple different shapes. 3 videos, or excuse me, photos that we released last month showed 3 very different kinds of objects, fairly mundane looking, but their performance left a lot of questions unanswered. They looked like a blimp or some kind of a high-tech drone, but they weren't. They were able to sit there in high winds for hours at a time, and we don't have drones that can do that.
All right, George Knapp of MysteryWire.com. We know that you'll continue investigating this, and we look forward to hearing from you again soon. Thank you.